You know how we all drive through ordinary neighborhoods and see regular houses with regular cars parked outside, never imagining that the people inside might be millionaires? That's exactly what The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko is all about. The authors spent years studying real millionaires across America, and what they found was surprising. Most of them don't look rich. They live in modest homes, drive older cars, and shop for value instead of status. They are teachers, small business owners, engineers, and farmers who quietly built serious wealth through simple, consistent habits. The book feels like sitting down with a wise, no-nonsense friend who's seen it all and want to pass on what actually works. The core idea that stuck with me is this: real wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how you choose to live. The authors call the truly wealthy prodigious accumulators of wealth or poors. These are people who earn decent incomes but live well below their means. They save a high percentage of what they make, invest it wisely, and avoid lifestyle inflation. On the other side are the underaccumulators of wealth, or UAWs. These folks often make good money but spend almost all of it trying to look successful. They drive expensive cars, live in big houses, and end up with very little net worth despite their income. The contrast is eye-opening because it shows that flashy appearances often hide financial fragility. One of the most practical lessons is how these millionaires approach spending. They aren't cheap in a miserable way. They are just intentional. They buy reliable used cars instead of new luxury ones. They live in comfortable but not extravagant homes. They shop for value and maintain what they own instead of replacing things constantly. The book is full of real examples of people who could afford luxury but chose not to. One millionaire couple drove the same car for over 10 years and lived in the same modest house for decades. Their neighbors had no idea they were sitting on millions. That story made me realize how much money we waste trying to keep up with people we don't even know. The authors also talk a lot about the power of time and consistency. Wealth builds slowly through steady saving and investing. Starting early gives you a huge advantage because of compounding. Even if you begin with small amounts, the growth over decades is remarkable. They share stories of people who started with average jobs and average salaries but ended up with substantial wealth simply because they saved and invested year after year. It removes the excuse that you need to earn a huge salary to get ahead. What matters is what you do with what you have. Another big takeaway is the importance of choosing the right career and spouse. Millionaires tend to pick fields where they can build ownership or equity. They also often marry partners who share their values around money, people who are frugal, hardworking, and supportive of long-term goals. The authors point out that a spouse who pushes for a more expensive lifestyle can make wealth building much harder. On the other hand, a partner who is aligned with you can make the journey much easier and more enjoyable. These insights feel practical and honest because they acknowledge that money decisions are deeply tied to our relationships. The book also dives into how millionaires raise their children. They teach them the value of work, responsibility, and financial independence rather than giving them everything. Many wealthy parents worry that large inheritances can rob their kids of drive and resilience. Instead, they focus on teaching money skills early and letting their children experience the satisfaction of earning and saving. This approach feels wise because it prepares the next generation for real success rather than entitlement. Throughout the book, Stanley and Danko keep coming back to the idea that financial independence is the real goal. It's not about having the biggest house or the fanciest car. It's about having enough assets and passive income to cover your lifestyle without needing to work if you don't want to. The millionaires next door reach this point through consistent saving, investing in appreciating assets, and avoiding consumer debt. Their lives may look quiet from the outside, but they have something many higher-income people never achieve: real security and freedom. What I appreciated most is how the book never makes you feel ashamed of where you are. It meets you with understanding and then gently shows a better path. Whether you're just starting out, carrying debt, already doing okay, the principles work. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Track your net worth. Lie below your means. Invest regularly. Teach your kids these habits. Celebrate every small win along the way. As you start applying these ideas, you'll notice real changes. You'll feel lighter knowing your money is working for you instead of disappearing. Spending becomes more intentional. Savings grow steadily in the background. Confidence rises as you see progress. The constant low-level stress about money starts to fade. Relationships improve because financial pressure decreases. Most importantly, you develop a quiet pride in your choices and a sense of possibility for your future. Life stops feeling like a constant scramble and becomes something you can shape with calm, steady hands. If you're tired of feeling like you're always behind with money, this book will meet you right where you are. It doesn't promise overnight riches. It shows how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth through ordinary discipline practiced over time. Read it. Take notes. Start with one small change this week. Track your spending. Set aside money for your future self. Make one choice that aligns with long-term goals instead of short-term appearances. Those tiny actions add up faster than you think. Thomas Stanley and William Danko wrote this book after years of research because they wanted to show the world that real wealth is built by ordinary people making wise choices. They want you to feel hopeful, capable, and deeply encouraged. You deserve financial peace. You deserve to provide for your family without constant worry. You deserve the freedom that comes from living below your means and investing the difference. Your children and future self will thank you for the example you set and the legacy you build. So if you're ready to stop wondering why some people quietly build wealth while others stay stuck, pick up the Millionaire Next Door. It might just be the conversation you've been needing, the one that says, "Hey, you've got this. Here's how real people actually do it."